Hey guys, what's up? I'm almost at 3K, so I decided to have a stream. I was like, I don't really have too much, I guess, to address. I thought I'd talk to the chat a little bit, maybe talk a little bit about the news or whatnot, but, just celebrate 3,000, I guess. It's taken me a little while to reach that. Just been plugging away, and, now I'm starting to get a little bit more traction. Hey, how's it going, Jesus? You're a racist. I'm not a racist. That's only Derek and you. Oh, yeah, at the end of, I don't know if you watched Derek Rant's latest video, but I'm at the end of it. And at the very end, it's like, they have a part with me in it. And I'm like, the Islamic Party is a really good thing. And then he edits it out. And I'm like, that son of a fucking bitch. Thank you, Rainy Steps, man. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate all of your donations, man. Like literally every time I have a stream, you give me something, man. I really, really appreciate that. You don't have to, man. Like, thank you, by the way. Like every little bit helps, and fucking, man, like I said, I really appreciate that. Hey, Paul, how's it going? Copyright infringement. Yeah, I know. I'm going to report his video for a guideline strike, I'm pretty sure, because, that's unacceptable. He's slandering me. Now everybody thinks that I'm supporting the Islamic Party of Ontario. I got a lot of comments on that video, and that people they're like, what? There's no good reason whatsoever. What the hell's the matter with you? And I'm like, it was funny. I knew that was probably going to trigger a few people, the title saying, oh, this is actually a good thing. But, I put ... for now for a reason. Hey, Rookie, if you were a betting man, Tonka or Worski. I don't know. Worski's been gone for like weeks now. Did you watch my old video I made about Andy Worski? And I swear to God, I called it. I said that in about 2 to 3 weeks to a month, he's gonna like go away, or there's gonna be something that happens. And I don't know, apparently there was maybe a loss in his family or something. So, hopefully that's not the case. That would suck. And, that would explain. But I saw on Twitter, he was saying he's going to do something with Geek Thulu. He's now going to leave the drama behind. His channel is not going to be about drama anymore, which is good, because that's what I said in my old video too. I'm like, you can't base your channel around drama. Hey, James, how's it going? Lolly. Thank you, Lolly. It's here in Southeast USA. Rock on, Islamic Party of Ontario. Yeah. Hey, Gordon, how's it going? Yeah, soon, maybe one day you guys will get an Islamic Party too. Well, not in the foreseeable future. Hopefully Trump will be reelected, but I don't know what's going to happen after that necessarily, but hopefully somebody else can take his place. Hey, Wayne, how's it going? But yeah, out of Worski or Tonka, I don't know. Seeing Tonka, he looks like a tall, kind of skinny dude. I think Worski, may be able to beat him. Yeah, I don't know. No, Worski, I don't think he'll be able to hold himself off the drama, man. Like there's always something that happens to him. He's got to like bitch about it. And accuse all these other people. Oh, Chris Worski stole $5,000 from me. Like he did that all, and Chris just kind of brushed it off. And, everybody who works with him seems to have a problem or seems to screw him over. So, the one thing that does seem to be, one thing that's always the same in this situation seems to be him. A month ago, the MPE that wrote Article 13 was caught posting copyrighted images on his Twitter, and when caught, I think he frantically tried to delete them. Oh, really? Hey, RIP. Hey, Luke. What's up, Stick Bundles? How's it going, El Maravilla? I'd like to thank all of you as well. Hey, Happily Insane. How's it going? But yeah, I want to see that fight, but honestly, I don't think Worski and Tonka are gonna fight. Like as soon as they announced it, I kind of like was like, oh, okay, you know, I'll believe it when I see it, but until I see that fight happening, I don't know if you guys know who Andy Worski is. He's a Canadian YouTuber. He's been around for like 10 years and stuff, but he got big recently when he did Blood Sports with JF. He's another Canadian YouTuber, and you know, there's still a market for blood sports. You know, I honestly miss blood sports, and I think that, you know, there's still a market for people debating and arguing with each other. And I think, you know, I might start doing that eventually, and just start hosting debates and letting people like fucking, I don't know, go at it or something. Like, maybe I'll start doing that eventually, because there is a lack of it on YouTube, I think, and I think a lot of people will watch it. But you know, because the reason his channel went to shit was a lot of interpersonal drama and whatnot, right? Do you believe you get to 100K subs one day? I don't know, man. I have no idea. I'm not really sure. Probably not. AJ is like the Canadian Sticks. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I like Sticks and Hammer too. He's really good. He did inspire me to kind of make videos, because I was like, this guy's just sitting in front of the camera talking, and I'm like, I can do that. And I'm like, you know, I kind of like that style, like that lazy style, unedited, lazy style. And I'm like, that's my style, you know, not too much effort when it comes, you know, the internet, but just sitting down and having a conversation or talking or whatever, you know. Hey, BC Barbie, how's it going? AJ, will the supposed Article 13 crisis make Brexit more likely to happen? Yes. Well, you know what, the Brexit thing, they really don't want it to happen, because as soon as the UK leaves, they're going to be losing like $38 billion in funding. And once that happens, you're going to see like a domino effect, because you know, nobody look what's going on in France with the riots and the yellow vest movements. If UK is to leave, that means France is going to have to pay even more money for all the things the EU wants to do. And that means Germany, the Germans, that means all the other states are going to have to pay a lot more money. And that's why they're trying to fearmonger everybody to stay, because they're like, oh, don't leave. It's going to be horrible for you. But really, it's them. And they know once people have to pay more money, they're going to be like, okay, fuck this shit. You know, I don't want to be in this EU thing. And you're going to see probably France next, or, you know, who knows, one of those places. And, you know, and that's great. But they're trying to have a no deal Brexit. I don't know what's going on with that. They keep, you know, I stopped paying attention to it for a really long time, because it was just in kind of limbo. And, you know, I'm just going to wait until it happens or it doesn't happen. And if it does happen, then great. You know, that's a great fucking thing. And, you know, the just oppressing the Europeans even more is going to make them more likely to leave these types of things, because I think they are reaching their limit as well. Hey, Kat. Let's see here. Real Clank is good commentary. Jesus. Clank is good commentary? Who is that? I've never heard of him. Is he a YouTuber? Hey, old white guy. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. AJ, when will you be doing another video with a guest on? I don't know. Anytime. Old white guy, I'd love to have you on. I'd love to have, you know, lots of different people on. You know, I should start having more guests. Definitely, we can talk about whatever topics. You know, whoever wants to come on. You know, I'll have them on to have a discussion with. Right. You know, essentially, but probably soon. I'm going to start trying to have more people on. And Brexit is likely to be a no deal, hard exit. Yeah, hopefully, you know, I think that's what it's looking to be. And if that's what it is, then that's great. And, you know, that's awesome. No deal is the best deal. Yep. White guy, your screens would not accept my chat. Oh, do you have, are you doing some live streams, old white guy? Because, yeah, if you do, you know, I'll go on your channel. You can go on mine. Clank is sticks with his spoon. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, Clank. Yeah, that's the whole Clank thing with sticks, hex, and hammer, right? But would not accept me either. Yeah, well, hopefully, that Brexit does go through, and everything is okay there, because something needs to happen. If that happens, then the dominoes will fall. And I think the EU is kind of like an example. It's like a small version of like globalism, pretty much of what they want on a large scale. And if it can't even work in the EU, then it's not going to work on a global scale. People are just not going to have it. We're too tribalistic to want to fund other countries for the sake of it, for some stupid liberal ideology of like, we're all the same, we're all a part of the same world, no borders, yada, yada, yada. But like all these liberal kids and all these leftists that promote a lot of this stuff, they do because they're not feeling the effects of what they're promoting. Like a lot of these liberal kids and whatnot, they're living in secluded, homogenous areas and whatnot. So they don't know the problems that are going to be started with what the policies that they're advocating, right? Did you watch Andrew Lawton say the IPOO was nothing but a fringe party? What is the IPOO? Sorry, what is that IPOO? The Islamic Party of Ontario? Oh, yeah, I saw him do that. I saw also Michael Coren write a story saying the same thing, that the Islamic Party is a fringe party. Oh, don't worry about it, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, even if it is, it's an example of Canada changing, and changing for the worse. Changing for the worst. Like, I read the Christian one, and it's way fucking better. Way better. I would rather that party win than like the Liberals or the NDP or anything like that. Our cat's gay. Thank you for $2. Is transgender mania in Canada abating at all? Not with Trudeau. Not with Trudeau. I think a lot of people do think it's fucked up. I think that this transgender phase is not going to last forever, because it's just it's just bullshit. It's just nonsense. Nobody's going to be okay with like a tranny, I don't know, sharing the bathroom with their daughter or something, or what do you call it, raising their daughter, or being a babysitter or whatnot. Like, these things are not going to last, I don't think, too long. It's just a matter of time before people are like, okay, you guys are crazy. Like, let's go back to there being a man and a woman. But yeah, it is pretty crazy right now in Canada here with all that tranny shit. And I don't hate transsexual people or gay people. I have nothing against them, but I don't want to promote it to our youth. Like in Ontario with Doug Ford, when he removed that curriculum that was, I think, co-written by a fucking convicted pedophile. So yeah, we don't really want these things being taught to our kids, but it's so weird to see this huge manufactured group of people like protesting against him. He's doing a lot of other things that they don't care too much about, but they really, really care about this transgenderism shit being taught to our kids. It's like they really want that. That's very, very important, right? Thank you, Wayne, for the $2. Very much appreciated. If you got any questions, let me know. Throw it in there, in the chat, and I'll read it out. Thank you again, though, Wayne, and thank you again. Our cat's gay. And no, cats are not gay. My cat is not gay. Cats are not gay, and you're a piece of shit for even insinuating that. Okay? Bastard. No, I'm joking. Thank you, Wayne, for the congratulations. France is rejecting it. at the heartland of EU globalist yellow vests. Yeah, you know, and they keep protesting right now. I don't know if you've seen some of the yellow vest protests. And what's also encouraging to see about the protests, did you guys see the video of the what do you call it? The paramedics driving through the huge yellow vest protest of people, and they're all just parting ways. You know, it's like that's how protests are supposed to go. And I really like how everybody there just knew, okay, everybody go to the side and part ways and just let that ambulance pass through. And I was like, that's awesome. Dogs are better than cats, but yeah, you know, I like dogs too. I love dogs, but cats are a little bit easier to have in you know, different places in the city and stuff. And, you know, they're less maintenance. You don't have to walk them every fucking morning and shit. Brazil is getting better, right? Yeah, Brazil is getting better, but Bolsonaro, he's a white supremacist dictator. Oh, how could you say? You know, I don't agree with everything he's saying, but it's probably a better direction what the country was going in before. It's like, do you want them to look like Venezuela, where they're eating cats and dogs? You know, no, I don't think so. Transgender is a trend. Yeah, I think it's a trend, definitely. Christian parties are fringe among whites, but how fringe will the Islamic Party be to Muslims? Right, exactly. And, you know, I think a lot of Muslims will reject it initially and say they're rejecting it because they're smart enough to know they don't really have the numbers. And this is what I was saying about, it's good that they're coming out and talking about this right now, because you don't want them to wait and not say anything. And then 10 years later, now they come out and their numbers are way bigger. At least now we can kind of point to something. It's not great. It's not a great news, but it's something. You know, you'd rather people be a little bit honest as opposed to, you know, not being honest at all, right? CHB.ca should have been the party to recruit Max Bernier, but instead of being relevant, they decided to continue to be fringe. It's unfortunate. Is that the CHP? None of us hate them. Laugh aloud, we're Canadian after all, but ... Local high school here got trans bathroom for what? You know, and all this stuff just costs businesses more money at the end of the day. Wow, thank you, Miles Kinslow. Will Trudeau win re-election? You know, right now, that is a tough question, but thank you for the donation. Thank you for the $10. Much appreciated. But, you know, at this point, the polls are pretty fucking close. And, you know, I think Trudeau is going to be trying to go more and more left to try to appeal to the NDP voters and the Green voters that seem to be, because a lot of the NDP, they're just going to the Green, it seems like. And, you know, Trudeau, he's trying to, you know, make some people kind of like the centrist liberals happy, but you can't do that and make like the far left progressives happy, you know? So him buying the Trans-Pacific Pipeline like really angers a bunch of far leftists and shit. And even though he doesn't really intend to do much with it, it's like, you know, he's trying to make like some conservatives happy by being like, see, I'm trying to further the energy sector, and see, I'm investing in this and in this. But at the same time being like, oh, see, I didn't start this pipeline and I killed these two other pipelines because of my, you know, environmentalism. But, you know, these leftists are never happy. But, you know, it's tough. It's tough. I think he could lose. I think he could definitely lose. But, you know, at this point in time, it's hard for me to make a prediction, right? Like, I want him to lose, and I think he can lose, but there's just Canada. Canada is such a fucking cucked goddamn country. You know, I just don't know. But that's why, you know, we need to be vigilant. We need to talk about these things, talk about the things that he is doing to the fucking country. And, you know, whether people vote for conservatives or Max or whatever, as long as they're not voting for Trudeau. Because one thing that a lot of people are saying about vote splitting, and what you got to understand, is a lot of people right now voted for Trudeau. Like, a lot of people right now, they're making videos or against him or whatever. Like, a lot of them voted for Trudeau, and they're all like, for whatever reason, they don't like them anymore. But a lot of people like naively voted for him and stuff. So like, even if these people didn't vote for the conservatives, it's not like the conservatives actually had these people from the very beginning. A lot of these people were voting liberal and boosting their numbers. And at the very least, now you don't have them boosting liberal numbers anymore, right? So, it's kind of moving people away from his party and at the very least. But I think he can definitely lose. But like I said, there's still a lot of time left. And Andrew Scheer is such a fucking cuck, man. It really pisses me off because he like look at the climate change platform that he has. He still hasn't released it, right? Because I don't know what he's doing, and maybe he's waiting for how people feel. He'll check the polls a little bit before the election, sorry, to reveal it. So then he knows exactly what people want, I guess, or instead of just releasing something right away and being like, it's like, no, let's just not go through with the Paris Climate Agreement. But his talking point is like, no, we'll follow through, but in our own way. It's like, well, you're going to have to do something. You're going to have to move funds around and manipulate the market and the economy somehow. How the fuck are you going to do it? We're going to lower the emissions, but in our own way. It's okay, but like, at least just say, I like what Max said a while ago. I remember he was like, no, fuck climate change, essentially. Like, let's just like focus on the economy and like deregulate a bunch of shit. Like, let's not pollute. I'm not for polluting either. I don't think anybody is for throwing plastic in the ocean and throwing garbage in the ocean. But, that's what people try to make you believe. But, no, I'm not for a lot of these authoritarian type carbon taxes that they want to put on our businesses, right? I'd rather just not subsidize any business. But what they're doing is they're massively subsidizing green energy and then taking away all subsidies for oil. And, so it's like, okay, now there's just another disadvantage here. Now you're giving all the money to these people instead. So it's like, that's just going to fuck shit up. We don't know. It's going to be like Solyndra under Obama in America that completely failed. He wasted $770 million on that. But whatever. I don't want subsidies because the thing is, like, we've subsidized oil for a really long time too, and that wasn't a good idea. We would probably have different, like a lot of different types of technology right now if we didn't subsidize stuff, because the actual free market would figure out what was best to, I don't know, generate energy and shit. And if it was coal for a while, it would be coal, but eventually something else would have come out and stuff. And I think that the subsidies just helps us not figure out new things, because why not use that cheaper fucking product that is being given to you instead of figuring out to come up with new alternatives? They subsidize, I don't know, fertilizer or something of a certain type, and then we don't ever try to figure out new types of fertilizer to use, manure or whatever. Or they subsidize corn, the government, like they subsidize farming corn and soy, and then that's put in literally all of our foods. And it's like, why wouldn't it be? Because you're going to buy that as a filler, because it's the thing that the government is subsidizing and giving to you at a much cheaper price. So it's better if we just don't subsidize anything, including the oil and gas industry, and just let the free market deregulate things. And we'll get more businesses that come back and whatnot. Nuclear, like you said, nuclear works as well. We would probably have lots of different alternatives if it wasn't for a lot of the manipulation from the government within the markets. So I'm just against that entirely, because we don't know. I don't know. You don't know. The government doesn't know what is going to be the next breakthrough invention. What is going to be the best? Which company produces the most efficient product? What usually happens is like what happened in Canada here, like that one guy, one of Trudeau's MPs was going to sell this fisheries thing to one of his cousins. So that business, the fishery, was not the best business to choose, but that's what the government is going to do. They're going to give subsidies to this guy, or maybe what they think is the best, but what really isn't the best, because the only people that know what the best business is all of the individuals within the market working together, buying and selling, because that is the invisible hand of the free market. It's all of us buying and selling and figuring out which is the best and cheapest product, because we're always going to gravitate to what is giving us the best price, right? And whoever's giving us the best price is because if they're not getting subsidies from the government, it's because they figured out a new technique, a new method, et cetera, to get more yield for their money, to get more, their bang for their buck. So that just means efficiency. So you keep the free market and competition without government influence just makes things more and more and more and more efficient. And with all of the influence that they've had already within the energy industry, that's fucked a lot of shit up. But now they want to go a completely other way, and they're like, okay, now we'll just phase out coal completely, even though we've based our entire fucking market off of it. Literally everything that we have is built off of like petroleum products, plastics, and all. Oh, now let's move to this. It's crazy, but they it's just another way to steal our wealth, right? Because in order to solve the problem, we would have to start like sucking carbon out of the atmosphere right now. Like, we've already reached the point of no return. There's nothing we can actually do to stop it, because even the UN, what the recommended thing was, like, what, $5,000 they wanted a price on carbon, like every ton, and we're doing $20 to $50 or something, and we're going to raise it more, but we'll never be able to reach 5,000, what they want us to do, which is impossible. So clearly it's just a tax grab, because if you're just getting $50 or your ton, doing $50, then it's nothing. It's a drop in the fucking hat. Why do it at all? It's like, what's the point? Plus, China and India are just going to keep polluting. They're not going to follow the Paris Climate Agreement that is non-binding, that has no teeth, that is not going to go. It's like people are going to go into China and be like, hey, you're not following the deal, you better start following it. No, they're not. And they all know this. They want all of our industry to go to China. We've been doing this for years. Fuck China. We need to stop them once and for all. And I'm not saying anything militarily, but economically. We got to stop trading with China and start trading with Taiwan or India more, and other countries. But Trudeau fucked that up, going and dancing like a retard, wearing his whole chic thing or whatever. My lips are kind of dry now, but yeah, it's ridiculous. Let's check out the chat though. Hey Gun Cotton, how's it going? And James, Jesus, you guys were already there. Hey Mysterious Blue. AJ, another thing I've come up with is that the reason Article 13 exists is not for the sake of copyright, but instead to get more money in these MPs' pockets. Yeah, probably. Everything revolves around money, especially when it comes to politics. So, that wouldn't surprise me. But I don't see it lasting a long time or anything like that. It's just, they're not going to ban memes. They can't ban memes. It's not going to work. It's just stupid. It's just not workable. But it shows you their mindset. It shows you what they would do if they were able to do it. These people from the EU, the people from our governments, like, they will do whatever the fuck they want to do to us, Like Stats Can said they were going to steal our banking information without our consent, and Trudeau and the Liberals are all coming out defending it and being like, "Oh, this is a great idea. This is amazing. Oh, wow. Don't worry, people. Don't worry." First time here. How are you? I'm good, man. God, the good one. How's it going, God, the good one? I'm pretty good. My hometown is the swamp of Atlantic Ocean. But yeah, if anybody has a question, just put my name in the chat again, so to make sure I see it. Otherwise, I may miss it. But I like Asians too. They're delicious. Yeah. Asians. All good. Nice to see you. Not bad, man. MasterCard puts pressure on Patreon to ban censor people. Yeah, that's what's really fucked up. And that's why I think we need to start cutting our credit cards. Let's stop giving these people power, because it would be as easy as that. And a lot of the times we don't need these credit cards. A lot of people who have credit cards should not have credit cards. They give the weight, they'll be like, "Oh, you're 18. Oh, here's a credit card. Here's a fucking credit card. Rack up your fucking debt." And then what does it do? People, they live off of means that they do not have. They buy all of this stuff, and this is why each Canadian, on average, we owe $30,000 of debt, each Canadian. So it's like, and this is all because of these visa companies that are now coming around and censoring people. Like, what the fuck? Like, who did they censor again? It was it? It wasn't Sargon, was it? What was that? Was it or was it the guy who's talking about Muslims? Robert, what was his name? I can't remember. But yeah, they've come in and censored people, which is pretty insane for was Spencer. I don't know if it was Spencer. In Europe, they told people to spend their way out of recession. It's the idea. Yeah, I know. It's right. Spend your way out of this recession. Here, we're just going to give you a bunch of money, and it's going to just funnel in the system. It's just going to keep exchanging hands until it makes sense. Until it just makes sense. And that's the fucked up thing. People think we live in a free market, but you get these big, large corporations that just get bailed out from the government. Oftentimes, it's like they fucked everybody else over, and then the government just steals more of your money. It's just go give it to these places again. Just go buy their shit again. Go give it to Walmart. Go buy their shit. Go buy all these. Give it right back to these corporations. Right? It's hilarious. And then that's what happened right after the divide between the wealthiest and the richest people just grew right after the recession. So people like Obama, Bush also totally fucked everybody. You should nothing is ever too big to fail. Nothing is too big to fail. And there may be the auto sector they're kind of afraid of, because once again the government has spent so much money and has influenced the sector so much that they're like, well, if we lose this, we're going to lose tons of fucking jobs, which is true. They will. And it's tied in with America and Mexico and their manufacturing. So, if one thing falls there, then the two other things are going to fall there. It wasn't very smart to tie all of our things in together, but it was probably good for some businesses to do this, right? It saves them money, but it's going to fuck us over in the end. MasterCard may have Luciferians there. I don't know. Maybe. When we have a recession, hopefully people wake up. Right. And they keep saying there's going to be one probably soon, and that Canada is not prepared for one. Not at all. And look at, what's a bad sign is the Federal Reserve in Canada is saying they're going to remove or hike back the interest rate by 0.25%. So that means that all of their great forecasts on the economy that they were having, it's great, there was, oh, wait. That's not true. Wait, a lot of the jobs that are coming are part-time jobs. They're not full-time jobs. So literally the same thing that Obama was doing in America, boosting his numbers and all the shit, is the same thing Trudeau is doing here in Canada. And, it's just to make himself look good. He's probably creating a lot of government jobs, and just, oh, the GDP is going up a little bit. Don't worry, everybody. This is great. And I keep seeing like propaganda from the media. Do you guys ever see this? I'm sure you increasingly see stories of like a Syrian or something like, I don't know, doing something great. I saw one from CNN. It was a bunch of Muslims, I don't know, raising money for something. And then there was another one from CBC. It was like Syrian girl invents this little device. So it's pretty much, oh, Syrian girl invents something, open your borders. That's pretty much the message. It's like, take in as many refugees as you can, let in people, because you'll have the occasional person that invents something that's okay. But AJ, if Google's threatened to block the EU once Article 13 passes, why are these greedy MPs still trying to get it to pass? Threatened to block the EU once Article 13. I have no idea. Maybe it's for their own political reason, because they have enough stupid people convinced that, I don't know, it's a good thing to do or something. But honestly, I haven't paid too much attention to Article 13 or anything like that lately. But from what I read of it that while ago, it doesn't seem like it has much teeth to it anyways. Gold, there will be an American collapse. It would be good for America to have the best chance ever to get rid of the Fed. Yeah. Some of the bad things we could use to our favor, right? Yeah, I say Syrian family thing on papers here. The media, yeah, the clock boy, right? And, it's just like, look at this girl. She just got here 3 years ago, they were saying, and she's already in university and she invented all this shit. It's like, how'd she get the money to go to university? How'd she get the money to go into all this shit? She's only been here for 3 fucking years. But I'm like, oh, good. She invented a battery or something, some fucking battery or whatnot. I don't know. And it's like the silent message is open your borders. You don't need borders because, look, and these people help our economy. Oh my God, look at this story, yada, yada, yada. Neck wounds. Oh yeah, did you guys hear about the Canadian girl who went missing in I think what was it, some African country in West Africa with that Italian guy? She's been missing for like 2 weeks now. This girl's been missing for 2 weeks. So yeah, she's dead. She's dead 100%. Of course she's dead. Why? She was supposed to contact her parents on like December 20th. It's January 7th, and she was in the area that she was in. The Canadian government has warned people not to go there because of active terrorism. So, and it's not even the place in Morocco. And there's another Canadian that has gone missing in Syria. And I guess he was an adventure seeker or something like that. And yeah, he's probably dead too, most likely, unless maybe the Syrian government captured him, then maybe he could still be alive. But if it's the ISIS forces, yeah, he's fucking dead for sure. And I don't even feel bad for these people, I don't feel bad at all. It's like, you were warned, you were stupid. This girl thinks she was a humanitarian, going to do some humanitarian work. Go do some humanitarian work in Canada instead of fucking West Africa in ISIS-rich fucking territory, right? Blair's mother, Jocelyn Bergeron, whatever, says the pair was supposed to get to Togo by December 20th, where they were expected to stay a month to work on a humanitarian project. We were always in constant communication with them, and it suddenly stopped, said Bergeron. On Friday, a Facebook page was created to raise awareness about the pair's disappearance, and the news updates are also being posted to the page. But yeah, you know, just just like those those two girls in Morocco, you know, liberalism or you know, this political diversity, or not diversity, but the stuff that these leftists push kills people. Like, it literally kills people because they think the world is a safe place, and they go into places and die. And they're like, everybody's the same. That's this. And I'm sure there's lots of nice people in Togo. I'm sure there's tons of nice people in these places too. I'm sure there is, right? But you gotta understand the differences of what you face in different countries. Like, you know, you go to Germany, maybe, I don't know, some guy will shit on your face because they like to do that type of shit in Germany. But, you know, maybe not so much anymore because it's more Muslims, but, you know, they like that gross shit. But no, that's probably not going to happen. But nonetheless, you know, you can expect what's going to happen to you in another European country. You're not going to get strung up and beheaded, right? You're not, maybe you could get raped. Maybe you'll get hit by a car. Maybe you'll get shot with a stray bullet if you're in America or something. But generally, you know, you don't have to fear getting your fucking head cut off and getting like a brutal fucking death, which these people are so ignorant that they're willing to risk that to prove a point. I don't know if this is true either. I saw another picture on Reddit, and it was a girl holding up a sign saying, "I'm gonna hitchhike across the Middle East," and it was like 2019. I don't know if it was just like a Photoshop thing or something, but if that's true, that girl is going to die very soon as well too. You know, that shit, like, that's just what's gonna fucking happen to you. Like, I don't know what the hell to tell you. And you know, I'll try to find that thing with the BC guy, like, or wait, Canadian, Syria. I'm sure that'll be the first story that pops up. Yeah, BC adventure traveler detained in Syria, missing for more than 1 month. So is he detained or fucking, you know, I don't know. He went to Syria seeking adventure, has been detained in the war-ravaged country in Canada. Like, why are you going to Syria? Like, what stupid people, you know, anybody that goes to Syria, that goes to these war-ravaged countries, you know, I don't think we should go and help them. You know, if we find out that they're there, it's like, no. You put yourself at risk. This is Darwinism working. And, you know, if you go to Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, whatever, then, you know, you're going to suffer the fucking consequences, you know? Which will be the first Western country that will turn to Islam. I don't know, probably either Sweden or France. And, you know, I don't know if any Western country will successfully be taken over by Islam, because, you know, when push comes to shove, I think that people are going to retaliate to some extent. And the reason I'm talking about this stuff now is because I want to avoid that time of massive violence and retaliation when these nice liberals turn extremely violent and stuff, right? Like, you know, I don't know. You know, I don't. I think that people, when pushed into a corner, like most animals, tend to lash out. And white people in Western countries are constantly being pushed into a corner. And the thing is, we just don't notice it yet. We don't see it yet. We don't feel it yet, right? It's just, you know, it's still, you know, everything seems okay type thing, right? Especially to most people in my generation, etc., because we've grown up in this type of thing. So I don't think people really understand what is heading our way in the future. You know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we'll become a minority and they'll treat us better than we treated them. And and something, there'll be more freedoms, maybe, but I don't think so. I really don't think so. I have no reason to think so. I have no reason to look at other countries and think that we are going to be treated okay, or that these people that are going to replace us are going to replace us with a system that is going to be like our system. And even if it was like our system, I wouldn't want to be a fucking minority in my own country, right? And I think it's why I push smaller government in this type of thing, because this is what is facilitating our replacement. If we could just stop the fucking growth of government, stop this constant immigration that's going on, then maybe we could have a fucking chance. But I don't know. I think that I don't know. It's tough. It's hard. I don't like to try to predict the future, because I never know what is going to happen in the future. But with the current trajectory, it doesn't look good for a lot of fucking countries, right? Other than Poland or Hungary or whatever, like they kind of like are okay and stuff. But a lot of other countries, not so much. Maybe France will wake up before it's too late for them. Possibly, but I don't know too well. I haven't thought too much about it. But there are some countries that are good. Maybe a lot of people will just move out of Canada one day, because it won't be ours anymore. So they'll be like, okay, I guess we're gonna go and live in some other fucking country and try to populate that. Russia may invade Sweden. You think so? Maybe. It's possible. But I don't know. I'm not Russia. I think Russia might do a lot of things, but we should worry about China right now at the most, and obviously keep an eye on Russia too. But China is definitely a big threat, and they are the people that I think we got to be careful about. Yeah, I'll be on your team, old white guy. Don't worry. I like Russia because they have no BS. Yeah, well, I don't really like Russia per se myself, honestly, or the Russian government. I don't, there's some propaganda around like, oh, he's a good, strong leader. It's like, no, he's an authoritarian, right? Putin is like the richest person on the planet, or one of the richest people on the planet, and he didn't make any of that money through the free market. He stole all that money, or he took it, just took ownership of it, right? So it's like, fuck Putin. But yeah, we should still work with them kind of in Syria, and Trump is doing the right thing, pulling out in Syria instead of increasing the numbers and doing what all the neocons in the media want right now. Like, you see, what's that dyke in the media on MSNBC, Rachel Maddow, and she's all anti-war, and now all of a sudden, like, oh my God, Trump is gonna pull out of Syria. This is horrible. Then Noam Chomsky, the biggest anti-war advocate leftist around. Oh, well, Trump shouldn't pull out of Syria. Blah blah blah. It's like, oh my fucking God! Like, these people have no principles whatsoever, at all. They can't ever say Trump did something good, no matter what. They can never ever say that. The only time they've ever praised Trump is when he shot missiles into Syria. That's the only fucking time. Yeah, Bolton said something the other day, right? That he's like, we're not going to pull out and this and that, but we'll see, we'll see, because, with Trump, it seems to be like, his advisors, the people, they give different messages that he gives sometimes. So you kind of got to wait a little bit just to see what the fuck he does at the end of the day, before you kind of believe what certain of his people are saying, because, he does a lot of this shit on purpose, in my opinion. A lot of people think Trump is just stupid, but, he wouldn't be where he is right now if he was stupid. Not at all. when Canada becomes a war zone, we will get no aid, and people will just laugh at us because we are just laughing stock, right? And you know, you're kind of right about that. You know, people are not. The thing is, there's so much anti-white, anti-Western propaganda that when we're in a hard times, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna laugh. People are gonna be like, "Fuck these people," you know. Oh, they deserved it, etc. That's what I see a lot of rhetoric like that on Twitter and all these other shit. Just people, they have no sympathy for white people because they're like, you have no soul, you stole everything you have. All this propaganda, anger directed towards us. So I'm like, this is going nowhere good, nowhere fast, right? And you know, like look at the opioid crisis. People laugh at that. They laugh at that because it's majority white people that are dying from it, right? And you know, you look at the doctors. I saw an article, something came out a while ago, and it was talking about how, oh, the white people are suffering from it more because doctors think that black people don't feel pain. So they didn't care about their pain. So they only gave pain medication to white people, but now it has the effect. That's why white people are all addicted to this. So the real reason white people are addicted to opioids is because white supremacy and racism, because the doctors wanted to help their pain but not black people's pain, right? So it's just another propagandistic article to get people to read it and be like, oh, so these people brought it on themselves because of their racism. Oh, okay, who cares then? They deserve it. Oh, this is a good thing. See, karma. This is karma. This is what you get for being racist. Ha 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 ha. You know, like that's what these fucking articles do, you know, and these types of race hustlers do. You know, they make people resent us, resent white people. Not every minority person thinks like that. Obviously, that doesn't work on all of them, you know, and we shouldn't think that they all think that way. But a lot of people do. A lot of people do think that way. A lot of people do have a lot of resentment and hatred. But, you know, if it wasn't for white people, you know, a lot of people would still be slaves. Women would not have rights if it wasn't for white men. You know, people can deny what as much as they want, but you know, the only reason slavery ended, it's not because black people rose up and fought for their slavery, because they had 13% of the population. The reason slavery ended is because enough white people decided that it was wrong. That's why it ended, right? People can say, oh, no, it's for this reason, it's not for this, it's for this. No, it's because enough people said, no, this is wrong, and we shouldn't do it anymore, and we're going to fight to stop it. Nowhere else in the entire world has that happened. And the only reason why we have no slavery in a lot of other countries now that are not white is because of our example in us stopping it in other countries. And we would still be living in a world full of slavery if it wasn't for the things that we did and white people did. But we're only ever going to focus on the bad things that happen, the residential schools, yada, yada, yada. Take down your fucking statues, take down your history. You have no history. Replace it with something new. Capitalism is bad. Replace it with socialism. You know, all this fucking nonsense, all the stuff that doesn't work, that hasn't worked in their countries. They're now going to want to bring it over to our countries to see if it's going to work here. It's like, no, it's obviously not. And, you know, it's the reason why you see all of this anti-white and anti-capitalism and anti-libertarian type rhetoric has been going on for years and years, is because honestly, we are the only people and you know, more of a right-wing libertarian type ideology, capitalism-based ideology is the only thing that is going to remove their power. Everything else gives them power. Every other ideology gives them some type of power, but private property, owning things, free trade, free speech, all these things they don't like, because it diminishes their power. And that's why they're trying their best to destroy it. And the only people, the only culture on earth that has invented capitalism, that has come up with these systems, is white people. So of course, you know, what do you expect? You need to get rid of white people, specifically white men. If you don't, you're going to have these people standing in your way. So you got to use propaganda when they're young, convince them all now to be trannies, and feed them fucking soy and all this fucking, like, I don't know, vegan food and all this crap. You know, tell them that taking it in the ass is not gay, and you know, whatever. Like, just make them more feminine, weaken them, weaken their populations, and that's what's happening. We're the global minority on the planet, and we're getting less and less. And as this is happening, the world is becoming more and more authoritarian. We are losing more and more of our rights and our freedoms. The less populist we become, and that's, you know, that's why, you know, we need to retain the majority in our countries. Otherwise, they're going to turn into shit. And that doesn't mean I want a homogenous state, only white people, all this crap. But, you know, minority people and white people should be fighting to keep Canada and America and Europe white countries, right? Just as plainly and as simply as that, right? That's what people should want, because without us there, the world is not going to be as good. You know, you know, it's like socialists that want to tax the rich 100% or 95%, and then all the rich people leave. Now there's no more rich people to tax. The socialists are not going to get any fucking money. That's what fucking white people are to the rest of the world, essentially. You fuck us, you get rid of us, then there's no more rich tax money to fucking give to the rest of the world. There's no more of this shit. And okay, yeah, now you're free without white people. Okay, we'll see until you start getting enslaved in Libya by fucking Arabs. Like what is going on right now, you know, that has nothing to do with white people. There's no white people enslaving fucking anybody right now. Although China is enslaving, they pretty much enslave people. Theafrica enslaves people. The Arab world enslaves people. But all the white supremacist nations, there's a lacking of slavery for some reason. I don't get it. Why do all these people flock to live in these countries, these white supremacist countries? You know, it's you know, it makes no fucking sense. And then they wanted to change it to a more socialist type country. It's like, you know, you're escaping to come to this wealth. Why change it back? It makes no fucking sense. They want the water. Oh yeah, that's right, Canada. Lots and lots of fresh water. That's true. They're destroying white families. They're attempting to make us die off by our own hand. Yep. So I'm probably going to be on for another maybe 10 minutes or something, because I got to go at around 6 o'clock, but I'll be on for another 10 minutes or so. I think there was a couple stories I want to look at as well. What was this here? Oh yeah, that Canadian cleric says Merry Christmas is worse than murder remarks were taken out of context. But he says, I stand by what I said and I will not retract unless I am proven to be wrong. What you see is what you get, unedited, uncut, you know? So he said that, like, you know, pretty much, I guess they didn't include everything he said, but he still doesn't deny him saying, you know, what he said about wishing people a Merry Christmas and stuff. He's just like, oh, they didn't tell everybody everything. But, you know, this is hilarious. And this is just another example of just crazy fucking Muslims. But, you know, be honest. I want them to be honest. I want them to tell the truth. I want them to say what they really fucking think. Because, you know, and this is a pretty scary tweet I saw on Reddit from Oskia, that Cortez whore, right? Alexandria Oskia Cortez. Now, this is her quote. I think that there's a lot of people more concerned about being precisely, factually, and semantically correct than about being morally right. So, you know what? This struck me as exactly like the article I was reading yesterday on my stream. Remember how I read that article about that guy writing about white people? And in the article, it said that sometimes you need to put society and the good of society above your children. It was a really fucked up line. They're like, sometimes the best things for society isn't exactly the best things for your kid. So you need to do this. You need to take away their privileges of going to private schools, and you need to essentially, I don't know, throw them in public school with a bunch of minority kids or something where they're going to be like bullied and attacked or something. But you know, but it's such a fucking nefarious tweet, right? Because it's pretty much saying, you know, these types of tweets is what justifies people to do horrible things because they think they're being morally right. Just like taking away resources from your kids and giving it to other people because you think it's being morally right. Like, you know, I don't know if I just put it in there. I'll put it in again. I don't know. Was that the Cortez? Yeah, I think it was. But here. But it's a fucked up tweet. It's a fucked up tweet. You know, I think that there's a lot of people more concerned about being precisely, factually, and semantically correct than about being morally right. You know, so this also covers for her stupidity because she says a lot of stupid things, and you know, she's just like, well, just because I'm not factually right on all these things doesn't mean I'm not morally right. Doesn't mean that me believing that you know, all these people deserve all this money that is going to be stolen from you. That's not morality. Like, your theft is not moral, but you know, she thinks it is, and people will do horrible things because they think they're moral, because they think they're doing good. And I see this is the future. You know, I see more and more rhetoric like this, more and more rhetoric coming out of crazy leftists like her. And she is the future of the Democratic Party, right? She is the future of leftists in this country. They're going to keep moving in that direction. And there's, you know, that's what I see for the future of America and a lot of other leftists right now. You know, that's what's been going on in her policies. She keeps getting like, you know, the media propelling her, and conservatives really got to stop attacking her as well, and kind of like, you know, making fun of her dancing and some of these stupid, ridiculous things, because that's just helping her. It's making her look more popular, and like, her ideas are horrible. And she wants to like tax the rich 70-80%. She's like a marginal tax rate, and she's bringing up like, oh, the 1950s they had a 90% marginal tax rate, but effectively they only paid like, some of these rich people paid like 15 fucking percent on their taxes. And you know what? Big corporations want a high tax rate because they don't pay taxes. You know, didn't like GM or GE or something pay like $0 on their taxes? A lot of these big corporations will hire a bunch of lawyers so they can get through the loopholes to not pay the taxes. So guess what? The only people paying that are going to be paying these high taxes are going to be medium and smaller size businesses that are going to be taking the fucking hit, because all these bigger corporations they're not going to be paying the tax revenue or the increase of taxes. And Trudeau raised the tax rate on the rich this year or last year on Canada, and we actually got less tax revenue by I don't know how many millions of dollars because of it, because people will hide their money overseas. They're not going to pay their taxes. So it's like raising it past a certain point, you're going to get less tax revenue. Then you know, you can't just keep raising it. People will find loopholes. People will get their money, or they'll just stop working, because there's no point of working really hard if the government is going to take 70% of your money, right? It makes absolutely no sense. It destroys innovation. It destroys business. It destroys everything. You can kill people if it's thought to be morally correct, but by some people sounds wonderful. Right. Hey AJ, do you know who Desmond Cole is? Yeah, I do. I do know who that is. Unfortunately, I know who Desmond Cole is, and I feel extremely fucking sorry for that kid. And that fucking kid's mother should be put in prison, honestly. Like, that kid's mother should be put in jail. It should be illegal to do this. And it's fucked up that they allow parents to put their kids through this type of shit. And there was like, what, that other kid that also his mom wants to put him through transgender therapy. He's like 8 years old, and the dad wants to get him, and you know, he doesn't even want to be a girl, but the government's gonna allow them to do this. And this is like in Texas or something. And it's like, if they're gonna allow this in Texas, then you gotta kind of worry, right? You gotta kind of worry if they're gonna allow this shit in Texas. And you know, that Desmond kid, you know what his mom did? She put him in front of RuPaul's Drag Race since he was 2 years old. So of course he's going to be some confused, fucked up kid. You put him in front of a bunch of drag queens dancing and prancing around, dressing in and out of, acting like women since he was 2 years old. And then they're like, well, why are you like this? Well, I don't know. I just like to dance and he just one day started dancing and putting makeup on. We don't know why he did it. We don't know why he did it. Because you fucking sat him in front of a goddamn RuPaul's drag queen, you goddamn fucking retard. Like, I would rather put my kid and be like, okay, play all these violent video games all day and night and be hooked onto this. Like, wouldn't you rather your kid be hooked onto that instead of putting him in front of RuPaul Drag Race? Like, and this is a single mother. I'm like, where is her dad? Where's her fucking dad? Or where's the dad in the picture? See, this is what you get with single moms. You get criminals. You get women that raise the daughters that are whores because, you know, they don't know. They pick fucked up dudes, or they picked up bad men because they don't know how to pick men that treat them right. And or you get the mothers that sit them in front of the fucking RuPaul Drag Race and then are confused as to why their kids are trannies. And it's like, what the fuck, man? It's like, oh my God, it needs to be stopped. It needs to be stopped. These people should be put away for child abuse, you know, and it doesn't make any sense that it's okay to do this. It's crazy. They weigh 500 pounds too. There is no limit to the madness of the left. Yeah. There's a little liberal SJW talk show host named Desmond Cole, supports Black Lives Matter and Antifa. Okay, is it Desmond Cole? Is that what we're talking about? Or are we talking about Desmond, the little fag kid? Yeah, I know the Desmond Cole SJW in Toronto. Okay, Desmond Cole. I don't know who that is. Let me look. Desmond Cole. Is he like on YouTube or something? Oh yeah, that guy. Is he that guy? He's on Twitter. Oh my God, yeah. See, I get recommended that guy on Twitter now because I'm like booted from it, but I can sometimes see like the recommended, what they recommend regular people, and I guess I always see his tweets. And yeah, I'm like, this guy's talking like he lives in fucking America. He's always like, oh, the black man, the black, like, who is this fucking guy? And I'm like, he's just like a black fucking Sean King or something, right? And you know, and there's also here, there's a woman also that promoted, what was it? Where was this? Or one sec. This girl from Canada, an MP, that also promoted that little black girl that got shot. And she said that, oh, you know, white looking for white man, yada, yada, yada. And it got like, I don't know, 8,000 likes or something. But Canada's most racist MP, Selena Chavness, And this is her tweet, January 1st. Like, the mother of Jasmine Barnes on the fatal shooting of her 7-year-old daughter. Killer pulled up the family in his red truck and fired shots. She died on the scene. The murderer is a white male, 40s, and is still at large. And the tweet got 71,000 likes, 53,000 retweets. And it's funny how much people care about racism and they care about all this shit when it's just a white man doing it to a black girl, when now it turns out that they're not. But this happens every day in these communities. It happens all the fucking time. All of the time. Fucking little kids get shot by gangsters and stuff. Nobody gives a shit. There were protests for this girl. Protests, and all these celebrities coming out saying Shaquille O'Neal was gonna like donate millions or all this money to buy the girl like a house or something. Like crazy. They care so much when it's this, but when it's a black guy, okay, everybody, okay. Just get back into your houses, everybody. It's just black on black violence. Nothing to see here. Nobody cares. We can't use this to harass white people, and the media can't use this to fucking push their narrative anymore. Everybody just forget about it. Forget about it. And one thing that really pisses me off is that you always see people, it's like, okay, is the ghetto or are the places where these people bad or not? Because people are like, Trump's like, oh, it's a fucking war zone of these places. It's not a war zone. No, these places are great. There's no violence. What are you talking about? We're not. And then you see all these other people. Hey man, I grow up in the Bronx. I grow up here and here and here, and I will fuck you up because we come from hardcore living, whatever. So it's like at one point people are like, oh, we're hardcore, we're this, we're that. The fucking, oh, there's so much crime, people shot every day. And the next, how could you say that our communities are filled with crime? Oh my God, how could you say this? And you're like, what? Like, get your fucking story straight. It's like either it's all a lie and there's no crime whatsoever, or there's crime and you're all tough and hard and like, whatever from doing crime or something. All been through shit. Which is it? You hear gunshots every night in your street. Is it full of crime or is it not full of crime? I don't fucking know, but we don't know. And it's funny. I just love it, just seeing this shit fall apart. And there's something I was going to do a story on. Is this little Aboriginal kid apparently got a letter, and they're like, or this Aboriginal family in this Canada. I got to find this story, but it's like, apparently somebody gave them a letter. It's like, we don't want your kind around here. Get out of here. But, I don't know. I think this one's kind of fishy too. And, I could tell maybe a lot of politicians haven't run to condemn this one right away because they're like, oh, we don't want another repeat of the hijab thing. But I have a feeling that this letter being sent to this Aboriginal family in Canada here, and it's like, get out of town. We don't want your kind here. I have a feeling it's fake, right? Just like so many other things are fake. Like at least half of these hoaxes. I'm not saying no racist things happen to people either. Of course they do. Racist things do happen to people, or bad things. But the shit we're seeing now, they're all just fucking hoaxes, most of them. But, I think that's about it, guys. I just wanted to celebrate my close to 3,000 stream there. And, like I said, I got to go by about 6 o'clock, and it's about 6 o'clock now. But thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all the donations. And hopefully you guys join me next time. So see you guys later. Take it easy.